Oh, his name is a brown spot. The game industry and the fear of risks. A video essay. We can watch this. This will be the last one until we jump into Tekken. What's good, Marley? By the way, let me get a marker on the stream.
Multi-billion-dollar industry with hundreds, if not thousands, of shareholders and business people behind all of it.
Go to game God of War, man.
Get paid
I
too
want
much
to play
money
this
for
in
the
the game.
roles that they play when it comes to game development. You know the ones I'm talking about.
I want to play it on
oftentimes
Give me God of
old
War.
and out of touch.
Gifts.
Really, what the
More gifts.
This ain't the biddies, yo.
The things that most players would actually want from a gaming experience.
That is a crazy
and focus
thing
more
to
so on
say.
the bottom line rather than making a great experience for all of us.
I need to change my bid alert.
Despite that fact, did you know that
they're
there
doing
is
for
one thing we
years.
have in common with them? The one thing every single person,
Nope.
more or less, has in common? For
We
the more
love Umar.
common folk, it's something as simple as
Keep
not
it for
working up
legacy.
the nerve to
Keep it
tell
for
your
legacy.
local cute barista that you'd like their phone number and you'd like to get to know them a little bit better.
What we talking
By the way, I've never not seen an attractive barista, so, you know, if you are one, shoot me.
I ain't gonna lie, he's spitting, bro. Hey, I be going to coffee shops area so often, or when, especially when I was in like college getting coffee for my ex. Bro, them baristas was fine, bro. I'm like, golly, bro, where y'all be getting these women to make coffee from, bro? They just be spawning in the world looking good just to make coffee. This is beautiful.
Email. For these out-of-touch business people within the games industry, though, it's something
Man,
more
was
along the
lit.
lines of debating whether or not to invest.
I hope
millions
Mirage is
upon
good, man. I
millions of
really do hope
dollars
this game's
into
good,
a
bro.
sequel of a tried and true IP.
Because y'all know I'm gonna play the whole game. Y'all know I'm gonna play the whole thing.
We all have that fear
And I just
of
don't want to
risk.
be.
It's just for us.
Oh
It
my
doesn't
god, I don't
usually
want to be
cost
cooked.
millions.
I was playing Valhalla. I played Valhalla the whole way through, y'all. I cannot sit here and if y'all was not here with me, I don't think I could have made it through that game. Like 50% of Valhalla was boring. A good 50%, and that was 114 hours. So it's a good 50 some hours of boring. Like that is ridiculous.
of dollars. In the last video,
Eivor is never boring, bro. Stop. Them things in that game were boring, bro. A lot of them things were boring. She had really good story beats here and there, but some of them, like, cause they had different stories for each location you went to. I'm like, this is whack, bro. This is so whack. I can't keep up with these weirdos, bro. Elkadu was iconic for our stream. Nobody else had an Elkadu but us. You know what I mean? Hadn't beaten Assassin's Creed since 3. I beat them all except 2 and Origin. I didn't beat Assassin's Creed 2 and I didn't beat Origin. But I beat them all.
I say a few months ago at this point, I said this. There is something to be said about the lack of new IPs from the biggest
put me to
publishers
sleep,
in the
bruh.
industry,
That's what it
and
was
how
with
creatively bankrupt they seem to be, but that's another conversation for another day. Well, you saw the title of this video. That day is today. And it couldn't be a better day for that conversation.
Today?
With the season of games showcases well behind us, we now get an even clearer view at
Fable,
the
that's that
intentions
Fable.
of the biggest
Why was
publishers
people
and
mad at do anybody know why people was mad at the Fable release? Like, it was like the only thing I seen that people was mad at Fable getting released is the girl was ugly. And I was like, bro, that is a creative character. We are not gonna have to play with her. I used to love Fable. I ain't never played a Fable game that I loved. I played 2 and 3 off GameFly, but none of them was great. Like they was just there. I was just there. Was GameFly happy and I was just they was just there. They was mad at the girl. That's it. Yeah, they was just mad she was ugly. Okay. So that's all I seen. I was like, oh, why is she so fucking ugly? I'm like, bro, it's a created character. Who cares? Ain't like you gotta play with her.
companies when it comes to their futures.
That was wild.
Where we not only get to see the newest gambles,
I'm interested for this game,
but also the public's immediate
that joint
reactions
looked
to them.
looked alright.
All of which only goes to make this video that much more
What's this,
well-informed.
Arc Raiders?
And speaking of well-informed, the best way to keep yourself well-informed
Being bad about somebody being ugly is crazy. To a certain extent, I agree. For this reason, yes, I think that's fucking crazy. Like if it was like main character and you had to play with them and they was actually ugly because the character wasn't even that bad. She wasn't cute, but she wasn't, you know, I look like Gollum ugly. Like what nigga she wasn't bad. She was a normal looking person, bro. She was average. She still would have pulled on dating sites. She still went hard on Tinder. You know what I mean, bro? Y'all acting like y'all wasn't smashed. Like y'all somewhere happy y'all can't get butt anyway. My fault. Incels do me mad for no reason.
Informed on everything going on with this channel is by hitting the subscribe button and ringing that bell icon.
Oh yeah, let me drop my man's link, bro. You know what I mean, this is he a YouTuber around my size, so shit. I could co-work with this nigga. Let me stop. Yeah, let me drop my man's link to the video, man. Go support. Go like up. I'm gonna comment anyway. Love you, vid. I ain't even seen it yet. He running that joint up for him. Gamers are so quick to join the outrage Olympics. I swear, so fast. Remember when GTA got leaked? GTA 6 super pre alpha footage got leaked. Nigga gamers was like, oh, this game looks ass. This game's gonna suck. Bro, it's like 3% done. How do you know? Bro, you seen 3 screenshots and it sucks? What? What do you mean? They be saying anything,
so you
bro.
get notified. But now, without further ado,
Anything.
I present to you the games industry and the fear of risk.
Alien, they really would, bro. They really would.
It's no secret that the biggest and highest
Urban
profile
Coochies are
games
wrong?
in
Yes.
recent years have been sequels,
100%.
whether direct or continuations in long-standing franchises. Allow me to bring you up to speed on them, or rather
You say the
remind you of
biggest
them, as
games in
I'm sure
recent
these
years?
past few years may just blur together for a lot of people because of the
And
big
God of
global thing
War.
I've heard you can't really talk
Elden
about
Ring.
on here
Elden Ring wasn't a
without
sequel.
being suppressed.
That was
So
Game of the
let's
Year last year.
rewind the clock back a few years.
Jessica, you want to
shall we?
join us?
Some of the major
Asia-
game
I mean, Asia,
releases
you
of
gotta get,
2020 include
gotta get
The Last
permission
of
from
Us
Jessica.
Part
That's
2,
my
Spider-Man
girlfriend.
Miles Morales, and Doom Eternal, to name a few, followed up by 2021, which saw even more sequels with Resident Evil
permission from her,
Village,
bro.
Psychonauts 2, Forza Horizon 5, Hitman 3, and even a new entry in the Ratchet
Hitman
and
3 was
Clank
goated.
franchise.
Hitman 3 was super
2022,
goated, bro.
of course, saw the double whammy
I
tentpole
don't
releases
understand how many
of
times I played
Horizon
that shit.
Forbidden West
I beat
and
Hitman
God
3
of War
like 3 times
Ragnarok,
on stream.
along with the equally fantastic
I was
A Plague Tale
hard off
Requiem,
stream.
which, if we're being completely honest, is an even better game than God of War Ragnarok.
Probably should have
But that's
played
not
that.
the conversation we're having today. Feel free to have it in the comments down below.
This shit is
though.
better than God of War
Do I even
Ragnarok,
need to
though.
remind you what sequels came out this
I don't
year?
know, player.
This first half of the year alone? No? Well, I'm going to anyway.
Yeah,
Star
definitely.
Wars Jedi
It's a
Survivor,
lot of
The
people
Legend
that
of Zelda, Tears of
it's a lot of people, and I noticed in the gaming community on Twitter specifically, it's a lot of people that will say like something just to get the little bit of clout. Butch can actually attest to this because Butch is probably the one dude that's heavier in that gaming side, like community, like outside of like I'm talking outside of content creators because a lot of gaming community people are not content creators. They just regular people trying to be clouded in the industry. I mean, in that community, and they be talking out of they ass, bro. Like if you get on them Twitter Spaces with the gaming community, they be saying anything, anything to be in the conversation, any outlandish claim just to have somebody in that community notice them, bro. And they don't even be playing games. Like not even half, bro. 80% of the gaming community are garbage at games, bro. The vocal gaming community, let me say that. They are garbage at games, bro. And they be acting like they got insider scoops and knowledge and know everything about games. They just be saying, oh God, they on some Notice Me Senpai type beat, bro. They are tragic. They be in those spaces really saying whatever type small thing for fake outrage, bro. I hate it. I love it and hate it at the same time because it provides me entertainment. Personally, going in them Twitter spaces with the gaming community people it's hilarious. Like if I'm over here just editing and I'm just hearing it, just random 54 follower Twitter account nigga up on there talking and he say something insane, bro. Like, bro, this is what gamers think. This is what y'all think, bro. This is what goes down in y'all brains. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop, and they don't ever stop, bro. Like, bro, the people I'm talking about, Juice. I mean, the same thing. Same thing. It happened in the streamer community too, but at least with the streaming community, you have something to gain for thirst trapping a problematic take. You got clout the game. These random Andy niggas, like they be random people, bro, with like all black profile pictures, no bio, 50 followers, that's all bots, and they still be trying to get the clout for some reason. I don't understand. I don't get what compels people to do that, bro. Oh no, I that's why I said I love it and I hate it at the same time, because you can listen to that and hear something more outlandish every Twitter space. Every time. I remember I messaged Jack one day when I first started going in them. I'm like, Jack, is this normally how it is? Is this how the community is? He'd be like, no, it's much worse. I'm like, damn, niggas really just sit here and talk about games, don't play them, and say anything about it, bro. Like, this is ridiculous, bro.
Of the Kingdom, Diablo 4, and Final Fantasy 16 just to cover the first half of the year.
Yeah,
and
I agree with you.
Still isn't even naming all of them.
We
still have Marvel Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, and a new Super Mario game to round out the second half of the year.
Hey, we're Baldur's Gate, bro.
Of course. All of this to
say, talk about Baldur's Gate.
The current state of the games industry is running on sequels.
Oh God, it'd be like it cannot be serious, but they be dead serious, bro.
In a generation of sequels.
They be dead.
What is the game that you're most excited for right now?
Baldur's Gate, and I got it.
Bet that it's a sequel, unless of course it's Starfield. What's that one game you hope to see get announced every time there's a video game showcase? We were probably hoping for something like a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima to be announced at the most recent.
Oh, actually, that's a good question. What do I be wanting to be announced? That's a great question. Tekken 8, yeah, I be wanting that to be announced. A release date for that every time it's a show going on. I really can't. I mean, that's a good question, but I really can't say I want some shit to be announced if it's a new IP because I don't know nothing about it. So, damn, I'm trying to think of something that's not a sequel. Now I want that one game, that little one where he was like moving the little. Oh, Black Myth Wukong. I want information about that. Lost Soul Aside, I be wanting information about that every time. Now Stellar Blade, because that looked fire. Shit, I want more information about that Wuthering Waves. I got a couple games that's not sequels, actually. I didn't think about that. And whatever that other game I can't think of that was at Sony's showcase, where he was moving the joystick. I mean, he was moving the sword on, fighting niggas. It was kind of cool. Not gonna lie, I had a motherfucker rank Tokyo Ghoul a C or D because it didn't follow the manga, even though he hadn't seen the anime. He didn't read the manga either.
PlayStation Showcase. It's not too far-fetched to say that 90% of the time you are hoping to see a sequel announced at these showcases.
Yeah, Blue Protocol.
There's nothing inherently wrong with that.
Actually, Blue Protocol been having some bad news lately. Like bad news. They keep having emergency live streams because Blue Protocol is out in Korea. That shit keep going wrong. Shit keep going wrong. Yeah, like in Korea, they is not here for that. Like yesterday, they had bad news. Like that's how recent that bad news is coming from Blue Protocol.
When you look at the immediate prequel,
they basically beta testing the game for us though. So I mean, I hope we get it in a good state.
Or reinvigorated fan bases around them. So naturally, everyone involved would want more from their favorite gaming worlds. The part where it does become a bit of an issue is when the gaming market is nothing but sequels, and where the games industry as a whole becomes rather predictable and potentially becomes a creatively bankrupt market problem that just turns out more. But I don't think we're there right now.
Not at all.
So much so that we often get games that try to piggyback off of each other's success.
We are at a point where we get too many sequels,
often with
we at a point where we get too many remakes.
You got Dying Light 2 and Dead Island 2, both first-person open world.
Some of them be useless. Like we do not be needing them. Like that Last of Us Part 1 remaster or remake, whatever that was.
Open world zombie games that
totally unnecessary,
if not the same void. I mean, hell,
and Dead Island 2 is different. Like Dead Island ain't been out for years. Getting a sequel for that's still type new and invigorating. Now I will say, them coming out between Dying Light and Dead Island same. I mean, 1 year apart was kind of weird.
You get what's practically a new entry in a franchise with just a different name plastered on top, as is the case with the
this
Callisto
game came
Protocol
out
and
work
its
in
very
working
clear
condition. Niggas would have
predecessor,
loved this.
Dead Space. Of course, I know that both games were created by Glenn Schofield, but how can I not bring up the fact that these two shockingly similar games released within 2 months of each other? The concept of this mirror game, as we'll call those coincidentally similar games, goes far beyond just these two
God, Wuthering
examples
Waves
and
is my
expands
plan
all
A.
throughout the history of gaming. From the mascot
Wuthering
platformer
I
craze
don't
to the
even know
co-op
that W
horde
word, but I ain't
shooter,
gonna lie.
it's just that nowadays, while
That was
there
my plan
are
A, but
more
that was the one
attempts
that
at
looked,
it, there
the
are
best
far
to me.
fewer success stories to
Once I
come
seen you could
from
turn
it
into the enemies, bro,
with
I was
many
like,
falling
oh,
to the
yeah,
wayside
this
when
gas.
others become the more popular of a particular genre. To take a look
It's
back
gas.
at games, it's one of the reasons the mascot platformer sort of withered away, with pretty much only Mario and Sonic maintaining
Spelled it
relevance
wrong.
over
It's
the
okay.
years.
I don't know. I spelled it.
Sure, some of the others are making comebacks
I don't spell
now,
nothing.
but that's only after like 20 years on hiatus. Bring back Banjo-Kazooie, you cowards. A big reason why games
I never
like
played
Back 4
Banjo-Kazooie.
Blood have been
That's
pushed
a heat.
aside when all people really want is a new Left 4 Dead title, which is precisely what happened to the aforementioned The Callisto Protocol, which only reminded people that what they really wanted was a new Dead Space game. And lucky for them, they sort of got one. Looking at the gaming sphere today, and yes, there are still new IPs coming out, but new IP that people are getting hyped up for is remarkably rare. We can look back at the last season of Games Showcases this summer, and you can very clearly see what games stood out to people most, and the games that were met with a lesser reaction, which is in no way a negative indication of the game's quality or of the work of the studios behind them. For example, on the Xbox side of things, upper management could have gone over to inXile Entertainment.
Wait, nah, I can't agree with that. I'm gonna let him talk. Obviously, I'm gonna watch the video, but I don't agree with that because Starfield got super hype on that Xbox show. Niggas is so much more hype for Starfield now on the timelines and on the internet thanks to that Xbox show, and that ain't no sequel. Yep, that just got dumb hype.
And had them work on a new Fallout game. They are a studio with ex-devs from the original Fallout games and have a history with RPGs, so that in theory would be a slam dunk.
Yeah,
and would be
Remnant
sure to
already
get
out.
a
That be
great
Remnant
deal of
doing fire.
excitement from the
Remnant 2?
public.
They're doing
But
great.
no, instead, inXile was given the freedom to create a new IP.
Yeah, it made it
which
look
looks
great.
quite promising, but isn't
I will
getting
say niggas
nearly
did
the
not
same
get no
amount of
hype for this.
attention as a new Fallout game would have.
Niggas didn't get
And
no hype.
between
for
you
this.
and me, it
And I
kind of
think
looks
it
a bit
looked
like
decent.
a mirror game of BioShock Infinite at first blush, heavily inspired at the very least. But seeing as we are 10 years removed from BioShock Infinite, this may be able to fill a void that currently lies vacant. For now, at least. And if we want to look on the PlayStation side of things, they could have so easily attached their new Haven studio to a familiar PlayStation first-person shooter IP, such as Resistance, Killzone, or SOCOM, which are all established IPs that
And Killzone,
now lay
dude.
dormant and
Yeah, I
are
was about
ripe
to say.
for a reimagining. But instead, they've also let Haven Studio do their own
Don't
thing.
let
with
Sony
the
make
new
another
IP,
multiplayer game.
Fair Games, which has just about
Leave it alone,
next
bro.
to no hype behind it. Part of the reason being that a CGI
Wait, I
trailer
wanted to
isn't
play this,
necessarily a
though.
lot to go on, but primarily
I would've
because
gave
this
it a
game
try,
falls
actually.
under that
So I
one
would give
risk
it a
that
try.
all game publishers seem to make sooner or later. One that among players is always met with immediate concern.
They do.
There's come a time in just about every game publisher's
this, Fallout?
lifespan where they have decided to
that's
take a
Fallout.
risk. And the only reason anyone takes a risk is for the inevitable associated reward.
Man, they took a terrible
Let's
risk
go
with this
back
game.
to your local Cube barista. If you were to ask them to hang out, then maybe you'll finally be able to fill that void you've had in your heart since the 7th grade and be able to find some sort of semblance of happiness.
That's-
A reward
that's crazy.
more than worth the risk of a moment of being awkward and uncomfortable. If you're the head of a multi-million-dollar publisher, then the reward you'd expect for the risks you take are completely monetary. When it comes to the games industry, there are many risks you could take, whether it be acquiring a number of new studios to bring in-house and dealing with a lengthy court
Mark's
case,
doing that right there.
creating a brand new IP,
Yes.
Stay a
or
virgin
trying
is
to build a
wild.
game
Yes.
that can boost
That's
a company's
wild.
revenue. For that last
More
point,
yes.
I'm sure you already know
Let
the
that
type
man
of
hit the
game I'm
barista
referring
up,
to.
man.
In
Stay a
2018, the games industry changed as we knew it when Fortnite
W
entered the
Murray.
scene and changed the game.
Yeah, Fortnite
While
went
the Battle Royale
crazy
mode
when it
released
turned into a
late the
BR.
prior year, it was in a pretty bare bones state at the time. It wasn't until 2018 when things
Oh
truly
man, I
began to
hated
turn
this
heads
game
with
when I
collabs
cannot
such
believe
as
I actually bought Fortnite, y'all. I am one of the rare people that paid $40 for Fortnite on PS4 before it was ever a battle royale. They had 40 of my dollars. Like, I feel like I deserve money back. It was not even a battle royale. It was a survival builder type game. I don't understand why. This is another opportunity for me to go back in time and smack myself. Like before I press the purchase button on Fortnite, just come in the room and smack the headphones off of me and then smack the controller out of my hand. Like, do not buy Fortnite. Why are you? Yeah, I definitely deserve compensation. I cannot believe I gave them $40 to play something that was garbage. It was trash. The battle royale was
Thanos
way
being
better.
added to the game during the height of the Marvel fanaticism. From there, Fortnite's success only grew. You'd be hard-pressed to find a single person who hasn't at least heard of Fortnite. Even your grandmother has heard of it. Probably because your cousins are constantly hassling her for V-Bucks, but, still. Being the seasonal battle pass always online type of game that Fortnite is, the ability to add numerous microtransactions was abundant and proved to be very profitable for Epic Games. And as a result, it became the exact sort of model that many publishers chase to this day.
Yeah, bro, it was some garbage at first.
But as I'm certain we all know, the definition
that's how I
of
used to pack
insanity
people
is
on
doing the
Apex.
same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Precisely what the games industry continues to do with their myriad of attempts to copy Fortnite's overwhelming success. There are countless games created with this design ethos in mind that have already been lost to time.
Hyperscape, look at that butt ass.
I wouldn't fault you for forgetting games like Ubisoft's Hyperscape or Roller Champions, both games that tried to make it in the live service space and failed.
No, it wasn't.
With
but
the
Roller
former being shut
Champions
down completely. And of course, I can't talk about failed live service games without mentioning my personal favorite, and I think criminally underrated and overhated, Marvel's Avengers by Crystal Dynamics. It's easy to hate on the game, but it was always fun to play, which is more than could be said for many other games in this genre.
Epic launched their own store.
But when a live service game utilizing some of pop culture's biggest, most well-known characters fails,
they got money just
what
coming
hope does
in
any
like
other
crazy
one
now.
have?
Got a store. Engine already been making money.
Why do these companies insist on doubling or even tripling
Fortnite
down?
Why
crazy. Is Sony investing 60% of their budget into live service games when traditional single-player games are what got them to where they are as the games?
I can tell you that. Live service games, if successful, they're gonna make infinitely more money than single-player games. I'm sorry, bro. Look, I seen a thing that said one successful live service game is worth. That's crazy. Is worth 15 single player games. One live service games that worked gonna get you as much money as 15 single player games. 15 God of Wars. That's why they keep putting money into it, bro. They trying to make one that bang. You know how much money Final Fantasy 14 is making Square Enix? Bruh, do you know on the monthly how much money they are making, bro? They're making 15 God of War sales a month. No, 15 God of War total sales a month. That's how much they are making, bro. I'm probably exaggerating, but they definitely probably getting that a year. That's not an exaggeration, bro. Like, dog, this is it's infinite money. It's an infinite money glitch. That's why they keep putting that shit in there.
That reward that just one game that's even half as successful as Fortnite would bring them. Because everyone at one point or another thinks they could create the next big cash cow for themselves. They see creating a live service as the easy way to make money, the quicker way, the consistent way. It's also a lot easier to take a risk when you don't have much to lose. As in many cases, it's not necessarily the development teams who want to make these live service titles, it's far more frequent that they are mandated from those overpaid people we mentioned earlier at the top. Look at it this way. Let's move away from your cute barista example for a moment And try
Who
a
put
new
money in
one.
Mafia 3 today?
Imagine you had a button.
I don't know.
And every time you pressed said button, you'd get $1 million. But there's a 50% chance you'd die instead of getting the money. Pretty risky. Not really a button you'd be rushing to.
Who taking that? Who taking the deal? Look, I ain't gonna cap. I'm pressing that button at least once. Either I'm gonna die or I'm gonna get $1 million. Bro, if you gave me that button right now, I'm pressing it. I don't care. That, but hey, I need that. I'm gonna either get lucky or I'm gonna get lucky because I ain't gotta deal with this shit no more. If either one of these happen, bro. Either one of those are great today. All right. In this economy, that button is amazing. Y'all pressing the button? Y'all pressing the button if you get $1 million, or if you get $1 million every time you press the button, but it's a 50% chance of you getting packed up? What y'all doing? I need to know. I need to know I'm not the only one. Okay, reasons. That's what I'm talking about. I knew I couldn't be the only one, bro. I'm pressing that immediately. Like I said, it's a win-win for me. I'm not touching it. Hey, look, I don't know how you gonna do it, bro, because I'm touching it. Boy, I'm about to bang that button. I mean, hit that button with my forehead, bro. I'm gonna go crazy.
Now imagine that same button, but instead there's a 90% chance some random person across the globe dies when you press it. Suddenly, that button becomes a lot more enticing.
Y'all pressing it then? I know you pressing it now, but oh yeah, I'm definitely hitting it now. Like, were you telling me it's a 90% somebody else died? Boy, I'm about to pop. Pop. Oh God, 50-50 chance we do coin flips every day, B. Either I'm gonna die or I'm gonna be rich enough to live. Either way, I'm out the struggle. Either way, I get out. Give me the button. Give me the button right now. I ain't gotta struggle no more.
To the majority of people, since they themselves are no longer at direct risk of death, even though a random faceless person is. You may even start to rationalize your choice by saying random people die every day.
B?
What's one more?
He should have said that. He should have put the clip in there. It's die every day, B. Tough, right?
Which is precisely the same kind of logic that those businessmen at the top use, and why they are more than willing to mandate certain always online aspects or scummy and predatory business practices in the games they just so happen to oversee. Any blowback won't fall entirely on them, and financially they won't even feel a thing. The dev studio, though, would. All because those sleazy suits at the top get paid far too much, considering all they do is treat their employees poorly and be misogynistic. They just want to make money the easiest way possible, despite risking the studios below them. But just because you take that risk, that doesn't necessarily guarantee you the reward. You can't forget about your cute barista who could just as easily shoot you down. But because the reward of a successful live service is so great, it's the one risk publishers are so willing to take. I don't think it's too insane to say that in the past 5 years, the games market has become more about chasing the money.
Hey, bro, he had my hammer. Hey, Thor, you might want to put that down.
I don't think it's too insane to say
that in the past 5 years, the games market
has become.
You shouldn't touch that. You shouldn't have touched that. That's you nasty.
More about chasing the money rather than innovating the industry, which is exactly where the insanity of risk stems from. I know it would be easy to blame Fortnite for that shift in focus,
I'm definitely rolling white guy for my next go around on Earth in America. White in America, probably like where I want to live. Go with like a white in Ohio. I'm gonna come back to Ohio. See white in Ohio life. I'm gonna go Elden Ring Part 2, but as privilege run through. Privilege playthrough. I'm about to have a heart attack saying that word.
But as the industry grows, the AAA games only become more and more expensive to create, with player expectations higher now than ever. Publishers are always going to try to find new ways to increase their income, and more importantly to them, their profits.
I don't think that's a
We
next
can never
life type
forget
of
how
thing.
much EA used to pump their games
You're not-
full of
this is not living.
microtransactions. An early attempt to pump some
be a
extra funds
plant.
into the company, but
You're like a
now
tree.
with a very successful live service game like Apex Legends, there have been no more microtransactions.
No, we called it
that
a
I'm
life
aware
cycle. We
of
ain't mean it.
plaguing the rest of their games. There is no one to blame for this shift in the games industry. It was always going to go this way. Fortnite was just the first game to crack
Be like a
the
tree
code.
that's about to get cut down.
It was inevitable.
Be a mushroom.
In
Be
the
a
past, the
mushroom
games
colony.
market was an entirely different landscape. There was a time when people were far more open-minded
Be some shrooms.
to all kinds of games, but through the advances in technology and the frequent one-upping nature of the
gotta be
industry,
lit.
things sort of spiraled out to an almost unsustainable level. What I mean to say is that back in the earlier days of gaming, things were more varied, where game devs were still trying to carve out their own identities in the games they created. The industry was a
I'm gonna
lot
be
more
like, I'm gonna go with the Big Mike build. I'm gonna go with that build.
carefree, with no sign
My
of
next
these
life.
AAA games taking the industry by storm and putting the idea in some devs and publishers that those
I want you to be a
AAA
bird and poop
titles
on
were
people.
an ideal to strive towards. Today, however,
That's
is a
crazy.
different story. Today, there are AAA studios popping up everywhere, and today's landscape is one where all these studios are making a homogenized version of what is seen as the industry standard for a AAA game, and they all tend to follow whichever trends are hottest at the time. In the past 15 or so years, countless games have all adopted a handful of the same things. Open worlds, likely popularized from the early Ubisoft titles that were successes. RPG elements, likely due to the incredible
That's
success
facts.
of the Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim,
Get this wild game off my screen.
and ultra-realistic graphics over the use
I will
of
never-
heavily stylized graphics, which could be
I will
attributed
never
to
not hate
any
on
number of
Skyrim.
AAA games for bringing that one to the light. Just to name a few of these trends.
Bro, I love it.
They are all things
Bro, I'll
that
hate on
over
it all the
time have
time.
become seen as things your games need to be put on a higher pedestal than all the other games releasing around it.
Skyrim forever.
If you were to
hurt
think
me.
about a game right
Always,
now,
bro.
any game at all released in the past 10 years,
Always.
9 times out of 10, it's going to have at least one of
never
those
going
features
away.
in it.
It's
become
my ex.
commonplace in the industry at this point. Which isn't to say that there aren't
My
some
ex
devs
that I
out there
don't
who
love no
don't
more.
chase these trends. There
mean, I
are, of
don't
course,
like
a
no more.
handful of AAA
Why do you hate Skyrim? It's a love-hate relationship. It's love-hate. It's my second favorite game. I hate it still. Okay, I'll explain when the video's over.
studios who do their
I'll
own
explain
thing,
it 1,000
and hundreds upon hundreds
I'll
of
explain
indie
when the
devs
video's over.
that don't get the proper recognition
Matter of
and
fact,
who are arguably making efforts to
I'm
push
gonna
the
send you a link.
industry
'cause
forward.
I got the
It's more so
explanation
the
in the video.
third-party development studios trying to create a smash hit for their publishers where this trend chasing is most apparent. Why, you may be asking? Because games cost a lot of money to make. Considering
Good,
how
I got
relatively
videos
young
now,
the
bro. I don't gotta
industry
re-explain
is, it is
stuff
just
now.
the
I
cost of innovation.
been doing
and
YouTube,
with
bro.
some of
What the
their
world?
competition releasing these phenomenal
This is great.
10 out of 10 games that evolve the industry, it would be much easier to look at
Shout
what
out
was
to
working
Wise
so well for those games
for saying
and
one
put some
thing
of
about
those
YouTube
teachings
and
into
I
their
didn't.
own games than to take a risk of your own and figure out something new.
Easy
It is
characters,
also
bro.
because of
Easy.
these 10 out of 10 genre-defining games that a lot of player expectations have been skyrocketing in recent years. People ask, why can't every game be as amazing as Breath of the Wild? Then we end up with games like Immortals Phoenix Rising, trying its hardest to be even half
It
as
was
good as what is
garbage, bro. Ubisoft fumbled the bag here, bro. I'm talking extreme fumble, bro. This was possibly the worst take on Zelda. It was buns.
essentially its source material. And by the way, in the process of
game was
editing,
buns.
apparently there was a sequel planned that was canceled, so that's a little awkward to talk about now.
Yeah,
but,
that's sick.
Anyways, let's just keep on moving.
Thick.
Oh, you guys really liked Assassin's Creed Origins? Well, guess what? Odyssey will have 3 times as much content.
Oh my God,
Then
it sure
Valhalla
did.
has 4 times as much content
It sure
on top
did.
of that.
Sure did.
It's the doubling down on something that works without really stopping to figure out why it clicked so well with people in the first place.
I remember TBH
just hoping people will continue to buy the next entry because it's like this other one, but with more content. At some point, there's just
follow my YouTube, !YT.
As soon as one game becomes a hit, it's very common where you see the sequel take a lot of those same elements and simply build upon them. As the saying goes.
I mean, but that's not bad though. I feel like that in and of itself is not bad, because if they didn't do that, if people didn't do that, we wouldn't have Elden Ring, because Elden Ring copied Zelda Breath of the Wild. And if niggas didn't know that, but I don't see no problem with it if it's good. You just copy it better. Just copy it better. You, like he said, copy it and build on it. Immortal Phoenix Rising literally hit copied and paste and then fucked it up. Like you fucked it up. You didn't add nothing. You took shit away and man, now you added something. You added some garbage. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And broke.
It's like black person offered you some potato salad. It was like, copy everything in this. He was like, yeah, I bet. I'm making my own. You get the potato salad and you start dumping raisins in it. And you mix it all up in there. You got the raisins in there. And you put whole olives in it. And you mix it all in there. And you like, yeah, better potato salad. No, it's worse.
Don't fix it.
You're weird.
This in turn makes these sequels easier to develop in certain aspects, such as time to market. And with the increase in time and budgets to these massive games, it all starts to make a bit more sense. Today, the games industry generates around 5 times as much revenue as the film industry.
I know, people do
effectively
that,
making it one of, if not the highest grossing market in the entertainment industry as a whole. With the budgets of AAA games matching those of your modern day summer blockbuster. The biggest difference between film production and game development is the time to market.
That's all you have to do.
While your typical blockbuster can take around 2 years when considering principal photography all the way to VFX production, the average AAA game takes on average 5 years of development. In many cases, even longer than that. Making game development as a whole more of a risk because of the time cost over the return on investment. The last generation of consoles was more of a time of exploration for many of the development studios. It was in the last 10 or so years when these breakout franchises started, with games like Horizon Zero Dawn making its debut, and God of War's reboot sending the franchise to an even higher pedestal.
I'm gonna play it, but I'm not playing it for that story.
Both of those games sold tremendously well, with both games selling over 20 million copies to date, which is exactly why we got sequels to them, and not a sequel to a game like Days Gone, which did not meet the sales expectations of Sony at the time. With such massive budgets and extensive development times, sequels are a far safer bet, as statistics only go to show that these highly anticipated sequels not only generate more hype, but will always sell better than their predecessors. In the eyes of the executives at the top, having that established fan base to guarantee a minimum amount of sales only helps to push forward on the sequels.
Not gonna lie, part 4, that man made a big video, boy. You got parts and parts and parts. W content, man.
So that's it then. We're just doing to get nothing but unoriginal sequels, reboots, and games that copy each other for the rest of time. It's curtains for the game industry.
Like the video.
Toss your consoles in the trash and pick up a book instead.
Give him a sub, bro.
Put that book down. Of course, this doesn't mean it's the end of the games industry. Just as you aren't going to die alone, just ask out that cute barista already. Once you get over that fear of risk, then you can begin to grow. The Naughty Dogs and Sony Santa Monicas of the world aren't always going to be what we see them as today. There will come a time when those teams within them change. God of War 2018 game director Cory Barlog could leave the industry someday. Hell, we just saw Evan Wells, the now former co-president of Naughty Dog, retire from the company, leaving The Last of Us co-creator Neil Druckmann in his place,
if Cory Barlog will also
someday leave the industry.
Beyond
just PlayStation, Bethesda's own Todd Howard, game director on some of my...
He needs to leave. He about to say personal favorite games. Please don't tell me you a... Oh, bro. Please don't tell me you his fan, bro. This nigga be lying more than me, and I lie for a living. He do too, I guess. Todd Howard been weak. I've been hated this nigga.
Personal favorites such as Skyrim or Fallout 4, and hopefully...
No, your game, your game it tastes as bad.
Soon to be Starfield
Fallout
has
4
gone on record to say that the next
Yuck.
Elder Scrolls may very well be his last. The game development
to
studios
be.
as we know them won't last forever. Being such household names in the industry, though, they will always have a few tricks up their sleeves.
Fallout 4
I'm
was
sure.
trash. What's good,
This is in
Sean?
no way to say that they aren't risk takers. I mean, that's exactly how they got to where they are in the first place, after all. For all intents and purposes, the games industry is still
This
very
Fallout 4 off
young.
my screen.
To compare this to the movie
Making me
industry, we
uncomfortable.
just got Color Picture a few years ago. As such, a lot of these founding members of the industry will eventually make way for the next generation of the games industry.
The next gen is on writing strikes.
But who
right
are
now.
they?
They're on writing strikes.
Where will they come from? Remember
Writer's
earlier,
strike.
I said that there are hundreds upon hundreds of indie
I'm high as
devs
heck.
who don't
Of
get the
course you
proper
are, Sean.
recognition,
Of course.
who are arguably making
Send me an
efforts to
Eddie.
push the
Send me
industry
an Eddie.
forward.
Give me,
Yep.
give me.
It's them. Most of, if not all of, the next generation of the auteurs, if you will, you know, your household names like Neil Druckmann and Hideo Kojima, they will likely come out of these smaller indie studios who are taking bigger swings
I
and bigger
doubt it.
risks. For many
I don't
of
know.
them,
I don't
there will
know.
come a day when they release
Probably
a
one or
breakout
two.
hit, the type that goes beyond being seen as just an indie game.
But they gon'
The studios behind these games then get
AAA
some
niggas.
eyes on them from
All the
the
niggas that's
bigger
big be
companies
AAA
who are
niggas,
more
bro.
willing to spend a bit
All
of
the niggas
money
is
on a
big
smaller
names.
studio and help them
Be
reach their
AAA
full
names, like-
potential. For example,
We really don't
take
know
a
the
look at
names of a
Hellblade,
lot of indie
Senua's
studios,
Sacrifice, which,
people.
believe it or not, Ninja Theory was an independent studio when they released it.
I'm
Since
gonna use
then, they've been
ChatGPT to be
acquired
the
by
next
one
big
of those
writer.
bigger
Hey,
companies,
I'm here for it, bro.
Microsoft.
Use it now.
And with
Use
that
it while you
acquisition, Ninja Theory was given a number of resources they didn't have when they were an independent studio, namely a bigger budget. Which all goes into making Hellblade's sequel, Senua's
Use it
Saga,
while you
a game that is seen
can,
as
bruh.
a full-on AAA title rather than a sequel to an indie game. Of course, that's
Oh,
only
God,
one
that's-
example, which
I be trying to get her to
also
take
is a
me with her, and I
sequel,
don't
but
even
as
get-
we all
I don't
know,
even
they
get
aren't
fried,
the
bro.
only small indie studio Microsoft
wanna
has
get
acquired in
secondhand
recent
smoke.
years. To bring this whole thing full
it.
circle, InXile Entertainment has never really been a mainstream name in the games industry, but now, under the Xbox Game Studios banner, with more resources at their disposal, they are now poised to become one with the release of their newly announced Clockwork Revolution. Whenever a
Shotgun
studio
to
comes
smoke.
out with a hit, then that studio itself brings along with it a fan base of their very own. While The Last of Us or Metal Gear Solid may be what Neil Druckmann and Hideo Kojima are known for, the people, the fans they've gained from their previous works will be eagerly awaiting their next project, whatever it may be.
Bro, niggas was riding the life out of Death Stranding, bro. That game was. Are you behind me? You better get from behind me. That game was terrible. I'm sorry. I could not. I don't see what y'all seen in Death Stranding, bro. And then this man was over here talking about it's a new genre of game. Like, bro, everybody walks in that game. Like, what is this? How's this new? All you do is walk.
A sequel especially,
Make,
but they'll
make
always
ladders
show
and
up for a
shit.
new IP from their favorite creators.
Amazon
I mean, hey,
genre.
just look at the hype that's surrounding Starfield if you don't believe me. That didn't come from nowhere. It came from the years of fantastic games like Oblivion and Fallout 3 to get there. The same can start for InXile and for any dev studio at any moment. For every Todd Howard, there are hundreds of people who are inspired by his work to create games. People from
I'd
all
say that's
walks of
true.
life. As the games
Niggas
become
definitely
more and more
inspired by Todd
inclusive,
Howard.
more diverse people
I'm a
attach
hater.
themselves
I'm a
to
Todd
them,
Howard
and in
hater,
turn
bro.
give us new games with perspectives and insights we
Honestly, if the dude from Gearbox didn't exist, he would probably be my most hated developer. Or what's his name? What's the man's from Gearbox? I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. He the one that got caught with that USB and pouring on it. Nigga from Gear. I know his face. His face is in my head. He be doing them stupid ass magic tricks. I don't got no alcohol, stupid. I can't remember his name. Somebody gotta know his name. I hate that nigga. I think
yet to see. It is these inspired few who will be able to look at the games that they loved and truly understand what made them work. And they won't just emulate the biggest trends.
EA devs for
they will
sure
innovate
enemies.
on
Yeah,
them
that Bobby.
with
No, that's
new
Bobby
ideas
Kotick. Bobby Kotick
and
is
the
who?
use of new
Blizzard?
technologies.
Which
and
one? What
maybe,
is the one that was
just
up there on
maybe,
the stage?
One of them
talking
will
about when
become
if you don't like it,
one
don't
of
buy
these
it.
next auteurs.
If you don't like it, don't buy it.
So no,
Him, he's
of
a
course the
dumbass.
games
I know
industry
he
may
was
be
EA.
stuck in a bit of a rut right now, but it's only temporary. While the games industry may have a fear of risk, there are still those on the ground floor with more bravery than those at the top. And it's because of them, the indie studios who are taking these risks, that the games industry will not only survive, but will thrive far off into the future.
I agree with this. Indie studios be going crazy, bro. They be going crazy. Be going way crazier than these
I'd like to say thank you.
AAAs.
Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for reaching the end of this video. And definitely thank you for your patience while I was making this one. This one is something I'm especially proud of, and I hope that was able to shine through during the video itself.
I hope this video blow up,
it would mean the world to me if you were to share this video everywhere you can and engage with it in every way that you can. Not only would I appreciate this video performing well, but I also think that it has a message that more people need to hear.
Like it?
The people who are worried about the future of the games industry, and the people who have noticed the subtle stagnation in the industry. I hope my words, my video, will bring them some peace of mind. I can't wait to bring you more content of this caliber of quality. Thanks again for everything. Now get
I can't like it again. And I would love to. I would love to. I can share it. I can share it. I can share it. Tweeter. I know I follow this nigga too. Brown. Oh, I spelled brown wrong. Was it a brown wet spot? I think that's him. Pretty sure.